10 Stoic habits that quietly solve 95% of life's problems. Have you ever felt like you were drowning in problems that never seemed to end, only to realize later that most of them lived only in your mind? Have you noticed how quickly we complicate life trying to control things that were never ours to hold in the first place? And what if, just by practicing 10 habits quietly, consistently, you could dissolve most of the chaos, not by changing the world, but by changing how you walk through it? This is where we begin. Welcome to Stoic Zen, where the answers are never loud, but always clear. Habit 1. Control what you can, accept what you cannot. At the heart of Stoicism is this one truth. You are responsible for your thoughts, your choices, your actions. That's it. You cannot control the weather. You cannot control the past. You cannot control how others feel about you. You cannot control the outcome of every plan, but you can control how you think, how you respond, how you interpret, how you show up, especially when things don't go your way. Most people suffer because they confuse what belongs to them with what doesn't. So the Stoic draws a line. On one side, the things within your control, your focus, your discipline, your principles. On the other, everything else. When you stop trying to rearrange what isn't yours, something powerful happens. Peace returns. For the next day, try this. Every time you feel stress, ask yourself, is this mine to manage? If yes, take full responsibility. If no, let it pass. Don't suppress it. Don't resist it. Just release it. Gently, firmly, completely. Peace isn't the absence of difficulty. It's the discipline of choosing where to put your power. And the moment you choose clarity over control, life gets simpler, not easier, but lighter. Habit 2. Practice mindfulness and presence. Return to the moment you're in. The present moment is where life happens, but most of us live everywhere but here. We replay the past, we predict the future. We rush through today like it's a checklist to escape. The Stoic knows this is where suffering grows, in a mind that won't sit still. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. And the gateway to that strength is presence. Mindfulness isn't just meditation, it's awareness, it's attention, it's choosing again and again to be where your feet are. Right now. Try this. When you're eating, eat. When you're walking, walk. When you're speaking, speak. Don't multitask your life into fragments. Live whole, even in the smallest things. Set your phone down. Breathe. Look at the sky. Feel your breath return. That moment, that stillness, is where clarity lives. Problems shrink when you're present. Anxieties fade when you stop time traveling in your head. Solutions appear when you stop forcing them to. Every time your mind runs off, invite it back. Not with judgment, but with patience. Because the present moment is always offering peace. It just waits for you to notice. Habit 3. Focus on virtue, not outcome. Live by principle, not pressure. The Stoic does not chase results. They chase integrity. Why? Because outcomes are uncertain, markets shift, people change, plans fail. But your principles, they're yours. They're what you stand on when everything else shakes. Seneca said, "We should always allow some time to elapse, for time discloses the truth. And when truth comes, so does regret, for those who lived out of alignment just to win." So instead, focus on virtue, on courage, on temperance, on honesty, on compassion. Live in such a way that, no matter how the result turns out, you're proud of how you carried yourself. Let go of needing to control how others perceive you. Let go of attaching your worth to numbers, applause, or outcomes. Because when you live by principle, the results become irrelevant. Your peace is already secured. Ask yourself daily, am I doing the right thing, even if no one notices? Am I speaking truthfully, even if it costs me something? Am I being who I said I'd be? That is Stoic success. Not winning everything, but refusing to lose yourself in the process. Habit 4. Prepare for discomfort. Build strength before you need it. Life will test you. Not once, not twice, but over and over, and when you least expect it. The Stoic doesn't hope for an easy life. They prepare for a resilient one. This is why Epictetus said, "Don't hope that events will turn out the way you want. Welcome events in whichever way they happen. This is the path to peace." You train before the storm, not during it. You fortify your mind while things are calm, so when difficulty arrives, it doesn't shake you. For the next 90 days, begin this quiet practice. Do one small thing daily that's uncomfortable, on purpose. It could be silence, stillness, a cold shower, a tough conversation. Not to suffer, but to stretch. Discomfort is the classroom of growth. It sharpens your discipline. It makes you humble. It builds an inner reserve most people never develop because they avoid the hard things. So lean into discomfort, not recklessly, but intentionally. Because each time you step into it, you widen your capacity for pressure, for patience, for pain. And that's how you become unshakable. Not by avoiding the storm, but by training to walk through it. Habit 5. Embrace voluntary simplicity. Strip away what doesn't matter. Modern life is loud, full, fast, fragmented. And most of us suffer, not from what we lack, but from what we carry unnecessarily. The Stoic sees this clearly. They don't accumulate for status. They subtract for clarity. Seneca lived simply not because he couldn't afford luxury, but because he understood. The more you need, the more you're controlled. So for the next 90 days, simplify. Not as punishment, but as freedom. Let go of things you don't use. Declutter your space. Say no to commitments that don't align. Disconnect from digital noise that steals your peace. Unfollow the voices that distract you from your own. Simplicity doesn't mean deprivation. It means direction. It means choosing the essential over the urgent. It means making space, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, for what actually matters. Because the less you need, the more free you become. And from that freedom, you begin to live on your own terms. Habit 6. Journal for clarity. Think on paper, not in circles. Your mind was not meant to store everything. It was meant to process, reflect, and release. When you let your thoughts swirl unchecked, you create internal storms, invisible but deeply draining. The Stoics knew this. Marcus Aurelius journaled daily, not for content, but for clarity. He poured his worries, reminders, principles onto paper to clear space for wisdom to return. For the next 90 days, make journaling a ritual, not perfect, not poetic, just honest. Start with, what am I feeling? What am I avoiding? What matters most? Today, what thought do I need to challenge? Let it be messy. Let it be short. Let it be real. Because journaling isn't about impressing anyone, it's about listening to yourself. And when you write consistently, something sacred happens. Your mind slows down. Your emotions find shape. Your purpose becomes visible again. You stop reacting blindly and begin responding wisely. This one habit, done quietly daily, and will save you years of confusion, because it will teach you to see yourself. Habit 7. Practice negative visualization. Strengthen gratitude by imagining loss. What if today was the last time you walked into your home? What if this was the last morning you saw your child smile? What if this was your final chance to speak to someone you love? These are not morbid thoughts. They are Stoic awakenings. The practice of negative visualization, premeditatio malorum, is not about pessimism. It's about perspective. The Stoics knew that to appreciate something fully, you must remember it's not promised. Life is fragile. Every person, every possession, every comfort, temporary. So instead of fearing loss, they practiced imagining it, not to create fear, but to create gratitude. Try this today. Close your eyes. Imagine losing what you cherish. Now, open them and see it again clearly, freshly, gratefully. That breath you just took, it didn't have to be. That body you move with, it could have betrayed you. That person you love, they could be gone, but they're not. And because you remembered their impermanence, you've returned to the present with reverence. Gratitude isn't built by gaining more. It's built by remembering what's already here and knowing it could be gone. So don't fear loss. Use it to deepen your love for what is. Habit 8. Practice self-restraint. Win the battle. Within, it's easy to say yes, to indulge, to react, to consume, to let your impulses run wild and call it freedom. But the Stoic knows, freedom without restraint isn't strength, it's slavery to your desires. Discipline is the quiet force that allows you to choose, instead of being controlled. For the next 90 days, begin the practice of restraint, not to punish yourself, Nas, but to refine yourself. Say no when your body screams yes, to food, to distraction, to petty arguments. Pause before you post, respond, or react. Delay gratification, not forever, just long enough to ask, is this aligned with who I want to become? Because every time you hold back from an impulse, you build power. Not just over your habits, over yourself. Seneca said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." And most of that waste? It lives in overindulgence, in the things we think we deserve, but which slowly diminish us. So hold back, not from life, but from being ruled by life. And in that pause, you'll find power. Habit 9. Spend time alone. Hear what the world drowns out. Most people are afraid of silence, not because it's empty, but because it's honest. When you're alone, there's nothing to distract you from yourself, your thoughts, your fears, your longings, your truth. The Stoic doesn't avoid solitude, they seek it, because in solitude, the noise of the world fades, and the voice within gets clearer. For the next 90 days, create pockets of solitude. They don't need to be long. They just need to be consistent. Sit in a quiet room. Take a walk without music. Drink your morning coffee in stillness. Watch the sunset with no camera, no phone, just presence. And when discomfort rises, stay. Let the silence stretch. Because beneath the noise, you might find something sacred. You might find yourself. You don't need to go to a monastery. You just need to go inward, consistently, honestly. Solitude isn't a retreat from life, it's a return to your center. And when you return to that place often enough, you stop fearing the world, because you've finally made peace with your own company. Habit 10. Reflect daily. Review, refine, remember. The Stoic doesn't wait for breakdowns to gain insight. They review themselves daily, not to judge, but to understand. At the end of the day, when the noise settles, that's when the real work begins. Reflection, recollection, realignment. Marcus Aurelius did this every night, quietly asking, "What did I do well? What could I have done better? What am I still avoiding?" No drama, no shame, just awareness, the kind that builds mastery over time. So for the next 90 days, build this evening ritual. It doesn't need to be long, just honest. Ask yourself, where did I act in alignment with who I want to be? Where did I stray? What truth am I still not facing? Write it. Whisper it. Think it on your walk. It doesn't matter how. It matters that you do it. Because self-awareness isn't something you find. It's something you practice. And those who reflect consistently evolve quietly. The quiet revolution. These 10 habits change everything. So here you are. 10. Stoic habits. Not rules, not trends, not hacks, practices, rituals, reminders that life isn't something you control, but something you meet moment by moment with presence and principle. Let's remember them. Control what you can, accept what you can't. Return to the present moment again and again. Live by virtue, not by outcome. Train for discomfort before it arrives. Choose simplicity over excess. Journal to clear the fog. Visualize loss to deepen your love. Restrain to regain your power. Seek solitude to hear your soul. Reflect. Because without reflection, there is no refinement. Practice these not once, not when life is perfect. Practice them when it's hard, when it's boring, when no one else is watching. That's when they matter most. Because Stoicism isn't loud, it's not for show, it's for the soul. Conclusion: begin quietly, live fully. If you've made it this far, you already know. This isn't about fixing your life in one day. It's about showing up differently, intentionally, stoically. Let these 10 habits anchor you. Let them guide you back to what matters. Not to impress the world, but to impress your soul. And if this message met you where you needed it, if it helped you breathe slower, feel stronger, or see clearer, I invite you to subscribe to Stoic Zen, not for motivation, but for momentum, not for noise, but for truth. Until next time, stay grounded, stay calm, stay true.